different stuff. It helped me in different aspects. Like when I was going through a stage of life when I was missing people, then grief lessons really helped me through stress lessons. It all, like as Sawar said, we had a lot of tools to um you provided us a lot of tools to manage our life, and also yeah, it was really helpful.
So I'm gonna ask to just kind of rephrase the whole the build program. So obviously Siwar mentioned earlier that build was that it's Project Two was not a 2 week program that we kind of designed to put it all out, right? We wanted to have a long term kind of impact on it, and that's what we realized as well. Um, uh, Having a short term program is not going to help develop skill sets. It takes months, in fact sometimes even longer to develop some of these skill sets. And that's why the build was spread out throughout the year. Um, can you speak to a bit more about if you would have IGs, and I know you guys haven't done IGs yet, but if you would predict if you had had IGs or your A levels, would something like Project Two's build program be supporting you, or would it be something that you'd wanna keep on the sidelines because you have bigger things to focus on? Kavisha, why don't you go first?
I think you should. Yeah, the build session would be really helpful even when we had IGs or A levels, because as I said, it was a way for us to talk our heart out and free our stress. So even through these exams and all, basically we're studying what's in the textbooks and all, but like talking to the expo, you and like the other teachers, it helped us a lot because it's just not that their topic they would talk about various stuff. They will give us like their incidents in their life which would inspire us and make us talk to them. It would be a lot helpful for us to relieve our stress or in different ways, so I think it will not be a burden at all.
Siwa, why don't you jump in on that?
Yeah, I agree with Kavisha. I mean, obviously, you do have to commit and you have to dedicate your time. But in the long term, it gives you skills like managing your time. Let's say when exams are approaching, you make a schedule, dealing with exam stress. So it does benefit you, even if you have to dedicate some of your time for it.
Okay, excellent. And so that's the first part of Project Two, the build program, right? So which focused on skill sets, and it happened in school and obviously virtually. So let's talk a bit more about Guild. So what was your first impression of Guild? What was it like? Kavisha, why don't you go first?
Basically, when I think sir told us the different companies we have to deal with and all, and I went with EI, Islamic Bank. So the first impression was very nice. I mean, they gave us a whole idea about what they want us to do and how they want us to go ahead with the project. All the whole team was with us throughout the thing, and they helped us whenever we need them. So I thought it was a very interesting. I was very excited, to be honest, and I think I have done halfway the project, so it's just very happy and incredible.
Excellent. Siwar, what was your first impression of the Guild program? I think you're on mute. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
Nice.
So I was like very excited because when I first got to like the convention and I like saw the people and I saw like actual professionals we got to work with, that was like incredibly exciting. And we got to like go there and see all these post-it notes and slides. It was like very hands-on and you actually get to talk with the people instead of, sitting down listening to a PowerPoint presentation. I was thrilled, honestly, and very excited.
So let's jump into Guilds a bit more. What was the you guys obviously had 5 different organizations that you can choose from. What made you choose the organizations that you eventually ended up in, and what were the organizations that you eventually ended up working in? Suwar, would you want to go first?
Well, usually I tend to go with anything to do with like the environment or humanity. I've always done that, and I've seen things like Suqia, and I thought first, let me try and do that. But then after talking about it with my parents, I realized, why don't I try something new? And then I looked at the options and I saw there was Arab architecture. And I thought, I have never done something related to architecture. So I'm just going to give it a go and see how it went. And I'm so grateful because I actually got to learn something new and venture out into something that I thought I might hate. But now I realized I loved so much.
Kavisha, why don't you jump in? Yes.
I think I had the same phase like Sewar. I wanted to do Noor Dubai, but then after some time, after like looking through, I went through the website and like the different challenges we have to go through, and then we got the meeting with Emirates Islamic Bank, and I felt really interested in the program. So then I ended up choosing that, and like the way they explained it and like the challenges they said was very exciting. So yeah, I went with that.
And they have a very fun team at Emirates Islamic, don't they?
They do. They do.
I heard that you guys got pizza every time you went to.
I missed
That's
that day.
not fair. I am jealous. Where's my
No,
pizza?
that day. Well, I didn't go to that day. I remember.
Yeah,
I was
so I guess some organizations are far more hospitable than others, and I guess that's what we reflect on you guys. But I just want to give you a little bit of context to what the Guild program was, because, like I said, I want you guys to uncover the brain theory, the designs that went behind the Build and Guild. So one of the principles of like when someone asks, "Hey, what do you want to do when you grow up?" Right? One of the ways of finding your passions is by experimenting. You're not born with some things that say, "Hey, I want to go do this." At least most people are not born with something that say, "Hey, I want to go do this," right? So you only figure out things by exploring and working in it. The last thing that you want to do is go into a degree, spend 4, 6, 8 years studying that in university, then come out on the other side, start working in that organization and say, "Hey, you know what? I don't really like IT, but my master's and bachelor's and all my degrees are on that." So the Guild program was designed to kind of start exposing you guys to these industries in university as well. Sorry, in high school itself. So that as you're going through high school, grade 10, 11, 12, 13, you'll be able to experiment with all these different industries and see what actually you like. So that was the initial design thing. Was that how you guys felt like when you went through the program? Kavisha, why don't you go?
Well, I guess yeah, that was like the more of the thought of us also that like you guys wanted to make us experience different types of careers like Dubai Islamic Bank, Noor Dubai. They had different challenges that you had to face, but like in the end, we end up going with what our heart tells us to do and what we're more inspired to do. So, I guess yes, maybe that's what also was in the back of our brains, but we never really sat down and thought about it. But like maybe we also did like I listened to what I wanted in my heart because I could have just gone with Noor Dubai, but I knew that in the end I wouldn't be doing such a great job that I'm doing in Islamic Bank right now. So it's just everything. It's just not the team. It's everything. Your inspiration, your aim, your goals. So yes, I think that was the main idea also.
Excellent. Sewar, why don't you jump in?
Yeah, I agree. I love the fact that we got to explore different fields, new fields that we haven't heard before. So we got an insight into what it is like to actually work here. Usually, when we go to university, we make decisions based on what we already know, and we tend to forget that we don't know all the options that are out there. So there is so much more that we could do. We don't know. I think it was a powerful message that you need to explore in order to find something that suits you.
So I'm going to ask you guys this question: if you had the chance to do Build and Guild next year, would you choose the same organization to work with, or would you want to explore something else? Sewar.
I definitely want to explore something else. Again, I think one of the things that I truly wanted to do this year was go into every single company, even though it's not possible. So I've got a taste into Arab. I want to try something new and add that to my experience. I'd love to try something else.
Excellent. Okay, Kavisha.
Yes, I agree. Like I would like to try something else, not just stay with the same thing. Because I think it's nice to adventure. Because it's just not the, we have a huge um we have different factors. So I think we should, and like since before we chose, every company did give us like a small glimpse of what they're gonna do, which did give
Mhm.
us the options. But I think I would like to try more like maybe Arab, because I didn't really check it out at all. So maybe I'll try to do Arab next year. Let's see.
Okay, excellent. I want to ask this question because this is quite interesting, and I think we haven't really covered this. How does the Build and Guild program have an impact on your studies, on your school life? Kavisha, why don't you go first?
Um, Build, as I said, it has a
Both
different.
negative and positive. Yeah.
Yeah, Build. In the beginning, it had a small thing, negative impact on me. Was like I was very stressed out. I had to be like, okay, we have this work to do, that work to do. Well, virtually, I mean, like, we would get worksheets, and I could get like a bit stressed out. But then with time, I actually got used to it, and I had more interest on doing it. That was a positive impact on me, and it helped me a lot. For Guild, I didn't see any much negative, but yes, the few days that we had to um negative impact, I'd say, is like we had to give out a lot of time from our day to think about like what we're gonna do and like how we're gonna do, and then talk to the organization. But then in the end, it was worth it. So I think that's how it goes. Like, I mean, everything has a negative and a positive. But
Of course. Yeah. Siwar, why don't you go?
Yeah, thank you. For Build, I love the fact that they incorporated it into our timetable so that we didn't have to stay after school for those Build sessions at least. I think
Mhm.
it didn't have that much of a negative impact unless it's talking about a homework, which didn't happen very often because either we got some of the work done or it was easier for us to get done. But for the Guild, I definitely struggled with at some point when it came to our final exams with the presentations. But I think it had many more advantages because if we're talking about school, I think Build helped me more in school because it taught me like time management, dealing with exam stress, and Guild helped me more with future careers, what I want to pursue in my future. So they definitely had a lot of great advantages, even if sometimes it took up some of your time.
Speaking about that, I'd love to know what was the impact on your family and friends? Do you think that because the Build and Guild is quite intensive, it's covers a long time. It's been 5 or 6 months since you guys have been on the program. So how was the what were you able what were you able to share with your parents, with your friends? What would you be able to share with? Were they able to help you with insights into your work? Did they see you? Did they see a change in you as you went through the program? I know it's only been 5 or 6 months, but I'm quite curious about that. Kavisha, why don't you go first?
thank you. Yes, my mom was a really great help for me. Like, Build sessions, she did see me coming out of a lot of stress, and she was actually really proud of me because I tried to learn through all my mistakes, and even through studying. I studied really well after listening to the stress activities we did. So Build session, she would always be there, but like she couldn't do much to me, but she would be always happy and proud that I was coming through it, out of it. Guild, she was the one who always, when I used to back off a lot in the beginnings, she would be the one who would be like, no, you have to do it, you have to do it. And now I just want to do it. And even though she doesn't tell me, but I do it now. So she was a great help from the back, as our parents all are. So yeah, that's how she helped.
Excellent. Siwar.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's been a lot of change. My family has told me that usually in the past I'd stay more guarded and stick to things I was comfortable with. But right now they're telling me that I'm more interested into things and learning about them and exploring and trying something new, even if it was a bit intimidating at first. So definitely helped with confidence and being more open-minded and going to this growth zone, not just sticking to your comfort zone.
So great. Okay, so let's start wrapping up. It was quite an interesting discussion these past 45 minutes. But what are your hopes for next year? God willing, we open up, inshallah, schools and everything hopefully returns back to normal. But what are your hopes for not only Build and Guild, but also your school and and how you want to get back to your learning journey in the next academic year. Siwar, why don't you go first?
Yeah, as for school, I'd love to go back to a routine. I'd love to go to like classes, see my friends, go to the football field, play sports. For building guilds, I want to carry on. Honestly, I cannot have enough. I want to learn more, get more experience, gain more perspective, and talk with everyone. I think it has helped me so much, and I would love to explore that next year.
Okay, excellent. Kavisha.
Yes, school reopening. I mean, yes, I can't wait to, because it'll take time for everything to go back to its normal places. But yes, we are ready to give a lot of in, because I want to see my friends and classes. Yes, it's getting boring virtually now. And Build and Guild, I can't wait going back to the Emirates Towers. Actually, like in real life, talking to them, because I think the team has helped us through a lot, and talking to them makes you feel so good. So, then virtually it helps you a lot. I can't wait for the Guild and Build sessions also.
All right, excellent. Last thing, would you want to say anything to the Project U team and to the folks that really supported and helped and bring the program to you guys? Siwar, why don't you go first?
I'd love to. I just want to thank every single person because everyone has worked incredibly hard and they went beyond. They didn't just explain the concepts, they shared their own experiences. They gave us advice. They were there for us when we were stressed out. They helped us with our projects. They gave us constructive feedback. When we struggled with something, we came up with a solution together. Everyone is very kind, friendly, and they're the most incredible people, really. Thank you so much for all the hard work you've put in and all the planning and thinking. You always have our best interests in mind. And thank you for this incredible journey. We loved it all and we loved meeting you. It was incredible.
Awesome, and I hope I can get to meet you guys in person again soon. Kavisha.
Yes, I honestly want to thank them, because even they were just not teachers who were there standing and explaining. They were like our friends. They always were close to us. And, it's not in through classes. If we are down, they would come to us and personally talk to us to get us back onto the mood. And, if we were struggling, they would always be there and, say, no, you can do it. You just need to try. So I think they always motivated, and like, honestly speaking, they did go through a lot, the thinking, the process they had to put through, but they never showed it to us. They were very calm, chilled people. Thank you a lot. We loved the program, we loved what you did, and it's just amazing and incredible.
We're most welcome, Kavisha. I do want to ask this question because I think I forgot to ask this. So there was a big, I'm telling you what happens behind the scenes, right? So there's another big debate that happened that said, hey, why don't we let the build program go to the teachers in the schools, so that they can go and because they already know the kids well, and it's just one other session. Why don't we let the schools do build? Kavisha, I see you pulling faces. Why is that?
I guess, see, like, we know the teachers already very well, and they know us personally. And I mean, not to be rude, but like, we already see their faces 24/7. So I guess seeing a new face and getting to know about that person from the beginning, and them getting to know about us, and, talking to them, it's another way of, interacting. And like, as I said, we need to explore. And in this world, we're not only going to get the teachers, we need to see new people. So I mean, I mean, it's up to the people, but like, I mean, I think having new people on the classes, and having a new teacher teaching us is like a best way of, because we interact a lot with them, because they don't know anything about us. So telling them has another way of, it's fun. So maybe.
That's a very good insight. I didn't realize that before, that new people might actually be good, because at least in my mind, I thought that having continuity in the same person so that you can learn from them would be better. But yeah, you raised some very very good points, because it's like getting a new, it's like having a new page of life. It's turning over a new leaf,
I
right? You
mean,
get
it,
to,
it gets boring sometimes, seeing the same face, like, not to
yeah.
offend. Just saying. I mean, it's nice to see new people and have a new talk with them.
I'm gonna apologize to you. I think you might be getting less marks next year because all the teachers are going to be upset at you.
It's fine.
Siwar,
Yeah, I agree with a part of that. I think we know our teachers and we'd love to get their insight as well. But there's something new and exciting meeting new people and getting their insight because when you meet new people, you get to like form this sort of divide. Like, you can dedicate all your academic questions to your teachers, and maybe when you're feeling a bit stressed out, you just want to let it out to another person. So I think there's a bit of a balance and it's like meet new people. So yeah.
all right, perfect. Guys, thank you so much for a very insightful session. Sorry, one other thing. Do you guys have any questions for me before we end today's session?
Can I ask one?
Please.
I'd love to know what you thought of our journeys and how you think we have developed or matured.
So one thing I was just messaging our board a few days back when I was seeing some of the Arab presentations. I was telling them I need to remind myself that these guys are kids, because the level of scrutiny that I was putting on you guys is what I would do for adults, right? Like, hey, why don't you remember this, that, and the other? But honestly, to see the level of integrity and the dedication, and not just that, but the outcomes in the program as well. Seeing you guys deliver that at such a young age is so refreshing and so heartwarming. Honestly, there were tears in my eyes during last week's presentation, because we got to see that in action, right? We sit and we can talk. Everybody can talk about, oh, we need to do that for the education system, and we need to do this for the education system. But to actually take the steps to go and do it, to get governments, schools, facilitators, teachers, students, parents, all of them. Oh, I like how parents was last on that, but all of them to come together to come and create this program. So many things had to happen, and then actually seeing the results and impact on the kids, that was really, really amazing. And the fact that you guys made the most of it, even more heartwarming. So very proud of the work that you guys have done. Really reinforces the concepts that we knew earlier as well. If you give a chance to you guys, to young people, to teenagers, they'll go above and beyond what they can do. And I was telling you as well, one of the folks from government had attended last week's presentations, and he said, you know what, I always thought that the next generation is just the TikTok generation, right? We've lost hope in them. All they want to do is become YouTubers and Instagrammers. But I'm so impressed by seeing the work that you guys have done. And I told him, yeah, because you guys don't give opportunity to the youth, right? If you give them opportunity, they'll go above and beyond. So how can you give more and more opportunity to you guys? That's what we need to figure out from our end. And once we do that, I think you'll get a lot of amazing results coming out. So thank you so much for that question, Suwa. Kavisha, do you have anything that you want to ask?
Maybe just one question. You have been with us throughout the whole journey.
Yeah.
So you came and introduced the project to us, and like you're with us in the end also. So if you had to compare us grade 10s from the beginning and like at the end, how would you say, how's the difference? Like if you had to compare, have we improved?
So let me give a very nuanced thing of that, right? And this is how it goes for most people. In the beginning, when people don't understand what's happening, there's always either there are three versions of it. Either they're super excited, it's like going on a roller coaster, right? You get super excited people, you get people who are scared, and you get people who are confused. They're like, why do we have to do this? Why are we putting ourselves on a 300-kilometer fast roller coaster? Does this make sense? Blah blah blah. Right? And then seeing you on the other side of the roller coaster when everybody is like, wow, that was an adrenaline rush, right? That's how it is. So I honestly have seen you guys not only and this is what Siwar said, and I guess this is why impact assessment and me getting to meet you guys and having a quality conversation. I hope this was a quality conversation, by the way. Was is meaningful because I can now see that you guys have changed perspectives. One of the biggest things from that is you guys being more open to new experiences, and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. I was just listening to a podcast over the weekend about this, where they said that you constantly have to reinvent yourself. If you and that's why what grade levels do to you, right? Grade 7 is easier than grade 8. Grade 9 is more difficult than grade 8, than the grade before it. As you go progressively higher, you get harder and harder. And you have to reinvent yourself. You have to keep pushing yourself to go out of it. That's on the academic side. So seeing you guys develop and grow on the other side as well is very, very heartwarming. And I want to say one more thing about that. It's no, and this is in line with what we just talked about academics, right? There was one impact measurement that we did was, hey, are the kids who are successful in Build and Guild the same kids who are successful in their academics? Are they, if they're A kids over there, are they A kids in Build and Guild? And we realized absolutely not, right? Because largely academics focuses on one skill set of a person. Build and Guild allows you to explore 10 different other skill sets. So so the more these kids have a chance to do those things, they get to shine and they get to show their talents that they were never able to show because they were restricted by their academics. So and I saw a lot of quiet kids come out and be far more open. I saw a lot of kids who were going through stress and personal issues, being able to not only just share, but start the process of getting themselves out of it and stop giving excuses to themselves. So I think that was very, very nice to see from you guys, and only at grade 10, but all the other kids who jumped on board the program from grade 11 and 12 at Al Salam School. So I'm incredibly proud of you guys for that. And like I said, it's been very heartwarming to see that into action. It's very nice for us to sit in air-conditioned offices and put programs and talk about all the changes you want to see in education, but actually seeing the impact on you guys, that's the best. That's one of the best feelings in the world. And I just want to end with this. I really hope that you guys take inspiration from this session that we've had, this conversation that we've had. And I hope that you guys take and create your own impact in your circles of influence, however big or small it may be. Project 2, we didn't know each other 6 months ago, but Project 2 is able to impact your lives. And I hope you guys follow through on that and impact someone else's life for the better. So yeah, if there's nothing else you'd like to ask, would you like to ask anything else?
No, I would just like to thank you once more. Again, I'm going to miss this program terribly, and as you said, we've learned so much and we're so grateful. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you so much, and I'm so happy to be here with you and Kabisha.
You're most welcome, Siwar.
I have the same thing. Thank you so much for actually arranging this conversation. It helped us a lot, and it was fun talking to you and Siwar.
Excellent. All the best, you guys. Thank you so much. I hope I get to see you guys, like I said, in person soon. Stay safe, stay well, and all the best. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Kabisha.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
Thank you.
Siwar. Thank you.